Perfect. Let's see. I see people coming in already. Wonderful. There we go. Yes, lots of people popping in. Hello, everybody. We're going to be waiting a little bit for everybody to join. Hello, hello. Great. Wonderful, still filling up. While we're still waiting, we'll give it a few minutes. Maybe if you want to type in the chat, if you can see and hear me well. Yes, okay, thank you. Thank you, perfect. And if you want, please type in where you're from, where you're watching from, where you are tonight or today, late night, wherever you're based, Paris, Switzerland, France, St. Gallen, Bremen. Okay, we're centered in Europe for now. I'm sure there's some people from other places joining us as well. Oh, New York City, that's the furthest so far. Hello. England, great. From Munich, oh, that's close to where I am. I'll be telling you about that as well. Hello, everybody. Oh, Lebanon, it's late for you, I think, right? We have 8 p.m. here. Must be a few hours later. Italy, London. Hello, everybody. Oh, 9 p.m. only. Is that Lebanon? Yes, then it's not that late. Istanbul, Phoenix, Arizona. That probably beats the distance so far. Hello, everybody. Giving it a couple more minutes before we dive in. Great. Good to see everybody joining in from all these different places. I love that. Wonderful. Miami, probably the best weather so far that you got there. Wonderful. So still coming in. Thanks for the inspiration. Yes, my pleasure. I hope I brought Calgary, Canada. Wonderful. So please share if you like where you're watching from, where you're dialing in from. I always love to see where people are sitting. I imagine you in front of your computers, we're all sharing the same, almost the same kind of view now, even though we're spread out all over the world. I love that. Morocco, great. Wonderful. So I would suggest we get started and dive right in. I know your time is valuable, mine is too. So let's kick it off. I will start by sharing my screen. I'll come back on screen afterwards, but let me share my screen to get started. So there we go. I hope you can see the right screen and see me in the upper corner. So great. I don't think I need to mention because it looks like everybody has already done that. If you want to type something in the chat so everybody sees it, make sure you enter you select sending it to all attendees and panelists so everybody can see it. Somehow the chat has disappeared from me for now, but I'll try to pull it up again wherever it is. Okay, I don't know where it is, but they'll be fine. There we go. So let's dive in. I'm going to be talking tonight about how to use the power of your mind and turn 2021 into your year. First of all, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. I'm glad I'm here. And thank you for spending the next hour with me. I know your time is valuable, as I said, so let's not waste any time and get down to business and talk about why we're here. And let's talk about all the things that I brought for tonight that hopefully do inspire you and do help you kick off 2021 and turn this into your year. I'll say a few words and introduce myself in a few minutes. So just so you know who you're dealing with. But this is not about me, it's about you. And it's about how you can turn 2021 into your year. I will show you why you're not where you possibly want to be in life. I will give you an insight into your way of thinking, and I'll show you how to reach your goals. No matter whether it's in your personal life, whether it's in your career, whether it's in your business, if you want to start a business, or if you want to find the right job, if you want to be happy, or if you want to find your purpose, what I'm going to be talking about tonight is really applicable to anything. A lot of times people that I talk to, they think it's just about money when they hear success, but it's actually not. It's really about any area of your life. So, first of all, I want to warn you, this is not a motivational seminar. Motivation is not a bad thing, it's good. You need it sometimes. You need it for sports, you need it to complete chores, you need it if you need a push, to get started with something. But motivation comes and goes. If you're lacking motivation, that's a different story. I will share valuable knowledge today with you, knowledge that can literally change your life. It has changed mine, and I know I'll never be the same again since I started learning and studying this material. It's knowledge that helps you to understand how your mind works and how your results are produced through that. It's knowledge that you can take home with you and really apply. And it's based on science and psychology. It's not on a theory that I have just come up with last week. It's a step-by-step process for success. It's a system, because success is a system, not a secret, like many people think. So where does this system come from? It comes from my mentor, Bob Proctor. He is the one I'm working with. He has developed this material over the past 60 years. I use his material, and he has collected it through many years of studying and collecting wisdom from his mentors and some of the most successful people in the world that he worked with, or that he collected information from. That's Dale Carnegie, who used to be the richest man on the planet at his time. It's Napoleon Hill, who wrote the book. I have it somewhere here. You may have come across it, Think and Grow Rich. Or Earl Nightingale, the founding father of personal development, if you will. Bob is best known to most people. You may have come across him through the movie The Secret. It's about 15 years old. I don't know the exact date. And he was back then already the old man in the movie. He's 86 years old now, and he has spent approximately 60 years now to date studying and teaching this material. He's probably the most experienced and most successful teacher on human potential, prosperity, and success in the world. And I bring with me a quote by Bob, and he said, "You're not responsible for who you are, but you're responsible for changing it." If you don't quite get it at this point, don't worry. You will understand what I mean with this at the end of tonight. So Bob also said success is roughly 5% strategy and 95% mindset. What does he mean by that? If we think about success, typically we think about hard work, we think about struggling, we think about investing a lot of times, we think about hustling, we think about like spending hours and hours of hard work and tough labor to get to where we want to get. And don't get me wrong, the strategy part is important, but it's only a little piece of it. It's only 5%. Strategy, that's the technology. That's the steps that we take towards a goal, towards success. That's the technique that we use and apply to get to growth in our business, to get to a different lifestyle, if that's what we're looking for, etc. And that is something that we need, yes. But the bigger part is on the mindset side. And that's a much more important part of it. 95% mindset, what do I mean by that? It doesn't mean that you have to sit at home on your couch and just work on your mindset and then things will just magically fly to you. That's not how it works. So you need the strategy. But if you don't have the right mindset, the strategy will not get you to where you want to get. The strategy will be tough. It will be a constant struggle. You will continue to go round and round and work hard, very hard for your success and still not get to where you want to get if you don't have the right mindset. So the mindset part can make a huge difference for your success in any area of your life. As I said, no matter whether you do want to find a different job, you do want to take your business to a 6 or 7 figure or 8 figure level, no matter whether you want a better work-life balance, whether you want to find the right partner, whether you just want to find your purpose, whatever it is in life, whatever you see as your success, you will need to have the right mindset, and then things are really going to be easy. And I'll explain to you why. So first of all, let me ask you, why are you here tonight? It's probably not by accident. And it's probably not because you were just bored and said, let's just join this webinar that A Small World throws out there. I don't have anything better to do. Maybe there's a little voice inside of you, or maybe even a big voice that says, I want more. Maybe you just want more of life. You want more time. You want more freedom. You want more fun. You want more financial freedom or financial security, or just more money, more for your business, more for your personal life. Whatever it is, I can tell you, you can have it. Maybe you would love to focus on a vision, your career or your business, but instead you feel stuck. It feels like Groundhog Day. Every day, every month, every year, and things are not moving. And believe me, I've been there, and I'll tell you a little bit more about me in a minute. Maybe you're concerned financially and you're not anywhere near where you'd like to be when it comes to your financial situation. Or maybe you hear just an inner voice inside of yourself that's telling you that you're not good enough, that you can't do this, but you would love to. Maybe you just have a feeling that there's more out there for you, but you're constantly concerned about what other people think. And that's why you don't dare to dream big. Or maybe you're worried about what's currently going on in the world out there and how this will influence your life, your business, your career, your future. If that's how you feel, then I'm glad you're here tonight, because I will show you how you can change that. I was in the same shoes that you're in today. I am a mindset and success trainer. I help people live the life of their dreams, reach their goals, and become successful, confident, and financially independent, if that's what they are looking for. I have a business background. I worked in marketing, sales, business development for over 20 years in the IT industry mostly. I worked for small startups. I worked for large corporations, global corporations. I was very successful in international sales. I traveled globally. I have collected lots of memories and lots of experience that I now use to work with my clients and help them become successful in whatever area they're looking to become successful. I'm a certified coach, and I use all these tools today to a certain degree still, but what I use more is the knowledge that I'm going to be talking about tonight. I have myself gone through a lot of coachings, a lot of trainings, and a lot of them were interesting, but very few of them made a lasting difference and a lasting transformation. Not a lot of them really stuck with me or anybody else who took the training. And so what I want to show you is a way how you can transform your life, your job, your business permanently, if that's what you're interested in doing. I was very successful, as I said, in my career. I had it all. I made significant money. I traveled the world. I lived a great life, but I still knew there's something more out there for me. I had a feeling, and that started over 10 years ago, that there must be something different. No matter how I enjoyed my job, I felt, there's something else that I want to explore, and I didn't know why. And I also didn't really listen to that voice for a long time. I felt stuck. I felt I was complaining at a very high level, and I didn't dare to dream big either. And then I started venturing out, and the universe helped me with a little push as well. So a few years ago, I did change the course of my career. I changed my direction, and that's what I'm doing today. And I never look back. I'm glad I made that move, and I wish I had discovered this knowledge much earlier. What I also want to encourage you to be open and just think about yourself for a minute. Think about your life. Don't think about your partner. Don't think about your family, your job, your employer. Don't think about the current situation, the previous year. Just think about what you really want and dream about when no one's watching. This is what we'll talk about tonight. So let me see. I want to hold the chat here for a second. If you have any questions, by the way, during my presentation, please feel free to put them in the Q&A or put them in the chat. Q&A is probably a better way to do it. And I will be happy to answer them after the presentation. So I'll try to keep an eye on it, but I'm not sure I'll be really good at that during my talk. So yes, think about yourself only for a moment, because this is about you. What we'll cover today is how you can get ready for your success in 2021. This wasn't the headline, and this is the key of what I'll show you. It's how to set a worthy goal. That's what we'll start with, and you'll know what I mean by it in a second. I'll also explain to you how you can understand what has kept you from reaching this goal, because you may have had that goal for a while or that dream for a while. And I'll explain to you why you're not there yet. And I'll show you the 3 steps you can take to achieve your goal, how to get there. So let's start here. If you ask people what they think about when they hear the term success, most people think about something around the terms of happiness, health, and wealth. This is what it all kind of circles around. And maybe if you want, type in the chat what comes to your mind first when you hear success. What's the first thing that pops up with you with the word success? I'm sure some association came up when you saw the announcement for the webinar tonight. Yeah, freedom, that's a good one. That's also connected to it for a lot of people. I hear that a lot when I ask people about it. And if it's something financially, don't worry about it. That's fully okay as well, because money a lot of times is connected for us with success. Yes, success doesn't have to mean money, but at the same time, we in our society as we live in today, we need money as a means of exchange for experiences, for material goods, for freedom. So there's nothing wrong with having a financial goal, but the financial part of it usually is not what we're really looking for. It's what we can do with it. And money also is measurable. So you can actually, in a lot of cases, measure your progress to success when you look at the financial aspect of it. But I have lots of people that I work with that have no financial goal at all. And the success they're looking for is purely in their personal life. So it can be either. What I read here is financial freedom, travel, doing work that is gratifying and meaningful, a meaningful relationship. Yes, self-realization. Exactly. That's what people think of when they think of success. Absolutely. So if you ask people, you can pretty much sum it up. Success is being free from financial worries, waking up every day and looking forward to what you're going to be doing today and who you're going to be spending your time with, and having enough or having more time for what you love to do, for your family, your friends, and being surrounded by a positive environment. So if you reflect on your life for a moment, you just take a few seconds to do that. I'm asking you, are you happy with these three aspects of your life? Are you free from financial worries? Are you waking up every day and are you looking forward to what you're going to be doing today? And do you feel you have enough time for your family, your loved ones? Do you have a positive environment? Good question, huh? So if you're not there yet, the question is where to start, how to get there. And as I mentioned in my introduction, the starting point is setting the right kind of goal. We are, as human beings, goal-achieving organisms. We're meant to grow. Everything is meant to grow and meant to evolve. Just look at nature. Everything in nature continuously grows, evolves, and then disintegrates again and starts to grow again. We as humans, we need to have a goal. If we don't have a goal, we're lost. Without a goal, we don't know where to go. If you ask people today out there on the street what their goal is, I bet you 90% don't really have a goal. They don't know what their goal is. And there's even fewer that have it written down. So imagine, would you ever leave your driveway? Would you get into your car? Would you start driving without having a goal? No, you probably wouldn't. Because what would you do at the first intersection? What would you do at the first roundabout? You'd probably go in circles because you don't know which turn to take. You don't know where to go, right? We need a goal, like we need a goal when we drive. But why don't we have one? And how to set the right kind of goal. In general, there's three different types of goals, three different categories of goals. And you may have learned how to set goals in school. There's many methods and many technical ways of setting goals. Think about how a company sets their goal. Typically, they take last year's revenue and then they add 5%, 10%. If they're really ambitious, maybe 15%, but that's kind of already out there. That's sort of, how corporations set their goals. People personally, do they set goals? Most of them don't. And if I remember for myself, when somebody asked me early in my career, what's your goal? That's a typical question, by the way, that I'm sure you've heard when you were in a job interview. I would typically say, oh, I want to just evolve and continuously grow in my career. that was not a specific goal. It actually wasn't really a goal at all. It was just kind of like an answer that I thought sounded good. Now I know what goals really are and how to set goals. What we typically learn in school, for example, a method that you may have heard of is SMART goals. That's what I learned in business school. SMART means specific, measurable, achievable, reasonable, and time-bound. That's sort of, a business approach on how to set goals for individuals, for business departments, et cetera, but that's not how to really set goals. So if we look at the way I categorize goals, there's 3 different categories. There's A, B, and C goals. An A goal, that's something that you've already done, that you've already achieved. Let's take the example, in your last job, you made, let's just make up a number, 50,000. You're looking for a new job for whatever reason. So for the next job, you set yourself a goal of also earning 50,000 a year. That's not a real goal. It's not inspirational because you've done it before. You can do it again easily. No big deal. But that's what some people call a goal, right? That's the A goal, A type of goal. Then there's B goals. A B goal, that's something that you have not achieved yet, but you know how to achieve it. For example, let's stick with a job category example. If you had a job where you made 50,000 and you're looking for a new job and you think, oh, I want to, of course, increase my salary. So with my next job, I would love to make 60,000. So that's a decent increase. But if you really sit down and if you think about it, maybe even 65 or 70,000, if you sit down and think about it, you know people that are earning that much. You know what type of company you have to apply to get this type of salary. You know what type of job you have to apply for in order to get the salary. So you can really lay out steps in order to get there. It's not a big challenge, right? It's something that is possible for you, that's totally feasible for you. And that's why it's not inspirational either. It's not a real goal. It's practically, basically a sidestep, if that. And then there's C-type goals. A C-type goal is something that you have never done before and you have no idea how to reach it. You have no idea how to reach it. So you probably are thinking right away, what's she talking about? You have no idea how to reach it, so why should I set that as a goal if I don't know how to get there? That's exactly why you have to set that as a goal. Most people, when you tell them about a goal of a C-type category, they'll tell you, so how are you going to get there? If you tell them, I don't know, then they're going to say, oh, you're crazy. So why would you, if you have no idea, why would you try to get there? You need a C-type goal because it is what you want, what you really want. A C-type goal, that's what you dream about secretly. Maybe something that you've always wanted to do. Something that you dream about, but you don't really dare to voice it. It's also something that you really want deep down inside. And if you set that C-type goal for yourself, it inspires you, it tingles inside, and it scares you at the same time because you don't know how to get there. But that's the type of goal that you want. That's what gets you out, as we say in German, from behind the oven. So that gets you moving. That gives you that kick in the butt in order to move. Most people, they move between A and B type of goals, and they wonder why they're not moving. They wonder why they're not getting ahead, why they're still stuck. Because they're not inspired, because they don't have the right type of goal. And then they stay within A and maybe move to a small B and then go back to A, and that's it. That's where they stay forever. If you want to grow, if you want to get somewhere in life, if you want to feel inspired, if you want to To move on, then find yourself your C-type goal. So I encourage you as a homework to ask yourself, sit down and ask yourself, what do I really want? What do you really want? And write down your personal wants and your professional wants. Because typically we have both. We have a professional want for our career, our business, the way we earn money, and we have a personal want. We have something that we, something that we desire for our personal life, how we want to live, where we want to live, with whom we want to live, and then spend our time with. So write that list and write down what it is you really, really want. And then pick one. Pick something that is a C-type goal from each category, and something that inspires you and scares you at the same time because you have no idea how to get there. The how is going to come along the way once you start moving, and you'll understand why it is coming along the way if you keep listening. So to sum that up, what you need is a C-type goal. That's the key for success. Think about what you really want and don't worry about how to get there. You don't need to know how you can reach your goal. If you knew how to get there, you would already be there, right? The fun is in finding out how to get there. So why are you where you are today? I told you in the beginning, I'm also going to shed some light on that, why you're at your current situation. Asking most people why they are where they're at, they would tell you something like, it's my background, it's my heritage, it's my education, it's based on where I was born, it's based on the current economy, it's based on my personal situation, it's based on my experience, etc., etc. And maybe that's what you're thinking too. But the reality is, it's not. The reality is you can create your own reality. You can create the environment that you need and desire so you can get to where you want to get. And I know a lot of people doubt that. And I was the same. I would have doubted that too. Several years ago, if somebody had told me you can create your own reality, I would have said, well, look outside, look what's going on right now. It's not the case. I can't influence that, but you can. And I have a couple examples that I brought with me to show you that the environment, the economy, the current situation has nothing to do with success. Take, for example, Monopoly. I'm sure everybody has heard of Monopoly or played it themselves before. Monopoly was developed during the Great Depression in the 1930s. It was a time when people were out of jobs, did not have any money, did not have enough food on the table, and were losing housing and everything. Nobody would have thought that at that time, people would care about a board game. But that was exactly when Monopoly became successful and became a hit, and we still play it today. So what does that show you? It shows you that the environment, the economy has nothing to do with a success or not. And there's some more examples that I'll just mention real quick. HP was founded during the Great Depression as well. Revlon, same. FedEx became big during the oil crisis in 1973, in LinkedIn, Post.com bubble in 2002. So the economy is not what needs to be right in order to move, in order to become successful. But if you can create your own economy, question is, what's keeping you from reaching your goal then? Why are you not getting there where you want to get? It's because you're stuck because you don't know how to move. Most people live that way, like these cars on the road. They stay stuck where they are until they retire. And they keep blaming it on circumstances, on their background, on the economy, on their education, on their financial situation, on everything else on the planet. But that doesn't have to be that way. You're stuck where you're stuck, and you are where you're at because of your program, because we live most of our time, most of the day, we spend in autopilot mode. Think about your own daily routine. Think about when you get up in the morning and you get out of bed, you go to the bathroom, brush your teeth, get dressed. Do you consciously think about every single step you take then? Probably not. You do it like you do it every day. You do it without thinking about it. You do it because you're programmed to do it. And you've done it so many times that it's an automatic process. It's a habit. Every person knows this. Everybody knows situations like this. Another one is if you're driving a certain distance that you've driven many, many times. I'm sure that's happened to you before. It's happened to me. A stretch on the road that I know so well that so I don't really need to pay much attention. And I get there and I'm thinking, well, what really happened on the road? What did I see? What did I come across? And you don't realize what it was because you didn't pay attention. You didn't consciously go about it. You just went through it by habit. So that's how we function most of the time. That's how we function most of the day on autopilot mode because we're programmed to do a lot of the things we're doing. We've done it enough times so we don't have to think about it. It became a habit and we're becoming programmed. I have these programmings. I'm programmed. You're programmed. We're all functioning through this certain type of programming over 90% of the time. And this programming determines our results. This programming comes from repetitive action and repetitive thinking. We don't have to think about it anymore if we've done it enough times because it becomes part of our subconscious. It becomes part of our beliefs. It becomes of what we believe is true for ourselves. And that's what we then accept. It's the same for our habits as it is for our actions as it is for our thinking. Because we've heard so many things so many times, we just accept it as real. We just accept it as true for ourselves without thinking about it, without questioning it. We've just accepted it as our own belief and our own paradigm. And we saved it and stored it in our subconscious mind, and it determines the way we live, the way we think, what we do, and ultimately our results. So what is a paradigm? What I just described, that's a paradigm. A paradigm is a mental program that has almost exclusive control over our habitual behavior. It's a number of values, habits, views, imaginations, beliefs that we shaped about the world around us. Imagine it basically as glasses that you view the world through, and it determines your behavior, especially your habitual behavior. And almost all our behavior is habitual. Paradigms are formed genetically through experience, education, what we witnessed in the world around us, what we inherited, or what we learned. And they've been burned into our subconscious mind for the past 10, 20, 30, 40 years. They're stored in there genetically and through our environment. And so we're basically programmed to live the way we live. So through that, they shape our perception, our time management, our creativity, our effectiveness, our productivity, our logic, and on the list goes. Everything in our life is determined through our paradigms. And through that, that's where they keep us. They keep us safe in a certain box, basically. They keep us where we're at today. In order to understand this, however, and in order to understand how you can now change that, and to understand how paradigms work, we have to take a closer look at our mind. So let me ask you, how does our mind look? Do you have any idea? If I ask in my live seminars, most people then just sit there and go like, no idea. That's what comes up when I ask people, think about your mind. How does your mind look? We have no idea. We have an idea about other things. So if I ask you, how does your fridge look? Immediately, an image of your fridge will pop up in your mind, right? How does your car look? Or how does your couch look? Immediately, you'll be able to tell me, my couch is gray, it's a 3-seater, it's soft. Or you could, imagine your front door. You tell me it's wooden, it's got a window, whatever. But we don't have an image in our mind for the mind. We think in pictures. And so that's a problem. Because if we don't have an image for the mind, how can we think about it? How can we understand it? So in order to help us with that, there was a doctor, Dr. Thurman Fleet, in the 1930s, who came up with this. You may now think, so what's that now? That looks funny. It's a stick person. The stick person is a drawing that he came up with in order to help people understand their mind. And it's probably one of the most valuable concepts in personal development that has ever been invented. Let me explain it to you. And I thought it was funny when I first saw it too, by the way. This figure here represents our mind and our body. So the big circle is the mind, the head basically. The small circle is the body. The body is small in this case because it's just an instrument of the mind. The body does whatever the mind tells it to do. So if we imagine the mind, not as the brain, by the way, that's also what a lot of people think of when they think of the mind, the brain. But the brain is just the switching station. The mind is in every cell of your body. It's in your little finger as much as it is in your head or in your toe. So that big circle represents the mind. And for our purpose here, let's divide it up into 2 halves, into our conscious mind and our subconscious mind. The body is just the instrument. The mind is what we're going to be focusing on. And so these 2 parts are key to be aware of, the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. Our conscious mind, that's our intellect. That's where our education is stored. That's what the part that stores all the knowledge that we collect. When we read a book, when we study a language, when we learn a new skill, it all comes in through our conscious mind. That's where we store information. The subconscious mind, that's the feeling part of the mind, our emotional part of the mind. And the body is responsible for the actions and the doing part. Our paradigms that I talked about earlier that determine all our actions are stored in the subconscious part of our mind. And the body, through the actions, is creating the results. So it's important to also understand that our conscious mind can accept or reject. You can decide whether you want to let in a certain amount of information or whether you shut yourself off. Whether you read a paper, whether you listen to the news, whether you talk to somebody about a certain topic or not, you decide whether you will accept it or reject it. The subconscious part of the mind cannot reject. It always accepts. It has no ability to reject. It always accepts whatever goes in through the conscious mind, also enters the subconscious mind. It cannot distinguish between reality versus fantasy, and it cannot distinguish between positive or negative. The subconscious mind always lets everything in. And we need to understand this in order to work with it in the proper way. So information gets put into our conscious mind through our senses. We see, hear, smell, taste, and touch. We can decide what we want to see, what we want to hear, what we want to read, and what we let into our subconscious mind through that. Because, as I said, the subconscious mind accepts everything, and that all gets stored in the paradigm. And as a result, affects our feelings, through that our actions, and through that our results. So how exactly do our results get put together? That's through what our subconscious mind determines and what we do with our subconscious mind. Remember, I said over 90% of all our actions, behaviors, perceptions are subconsciously driven. It's actually more, it's 96 to 98%. Only 2 to 4% are consciously driven. The rest all comes from our subconscious mind. Only 2 to 4% we can consciously influence. So to give you an image to illustrate that, the conscious mind is the ant. The subconscious mind is the elephant. Who's in control? Who's at the steering wheel? It's the elephant, of course. The elephant determines where we're going. That's where we have to start. That's where we can actually tweak something. So to sum this up and make sure you remember, your paradigms control your thoughts. Your thoughts influence your feelings. Your feelings determine your actions, and your actions produce your results. Change your paradigms, and you can change your results. It doesn't matter how hard you work and how much. If you don't change the way you think, if you don't change your paradigms and your beliefs, your results are not going to change and will stay the same all the time. A big part of your paradigm is what we call the self-image. The self-image is probably the most important concept of all my work that I do. And it's probably the one single aspect that makes the biggest difference for everybody out there. The self-image, that's not what you see in the mirror. It's much, much more. So as I said earlier, a lot of people from you, if you may know Bob Proctor from the movie The Secret. And The Secret, that movie has left a lot of people thinking we get what we want. We just have to want it. We just have to think about it and we get it. It's not quite true. The Secret had basically left the secret uncovered, because the real secret is we don't get what we want. We get what we are. And think about, what do you think you are? Most people actually think they're too old to do something, or too young to reach a certain level. They're too busy to take care of themselves, or they think they don't have enough money to do this or that. They think they're not smart enough. They don't have the right background, or they even feel they're too stuck to change themselves or something in their lives. The issue is, if that's what you believe, you are right. Because for you, it's always true and it's right for you, whatever you believe about yourself. So what is your self-image? What exactly is that? I don't talk about what people see when they come across you. It's not about your outer looks, maybe a little bit, because your self-image typically shows in that way as well. But primarily, it's about how you feel deep down inside of you when you're by yourself, when nobody's watching, always, anytime. When you go outside, when you dress up, as well as when you're by yourself at home in your PJs, in the evening before you go to bed, no makeup, no suit. It's about what you feel about you, what's always with you deep down inside. Because if you want to change something, if you want to grow, if you want to get unstuck, if you want to earn more money, if you want to feel live a different life, if you want to be more confident or live a happy relationship, then the biggest step typically is a psychological one that involves your self-image. Just on a side note, kids don't have that issue. Kids typically think anything is possible. Their self-image is not limited. Think about little kids. They see themselves as princesses, superman or superwoman. They see themselves as anything they want to see themselves. It's an issue that just adults have. Oh, sorry, my Siri started talking here. So it's not stopping.
Barbara, ich sehe keinen Kontakt mit dem Zero Day.
Typical technical glitch, and I don't know how to stop it. So there we go. Self-image. Yes, kids don't have that issue. So we adults, we have that issue though. We have our self-image tied to our paradigms that are limiting ourselves. Your self-image is basically like a thermostat, a cybernetic mechanism that you have inside of you. You know what a thermostat is, right? Think about your heater at home. You may have, that display in the wall, or you may have it on the wall, the thing where you can screw and adjust the temperature. You set the temperature to a certain degree. I have it here, 22 degrees, for example. I set it, that's what I want to have. And it basically adjusts the temperature. It ignites the furnace. I have floor heating here, so it adjusts the floor heating to the right temperature and makes sure the room is heated at 22 degrees Celsius. If I open my big window, I let the cool air in the winter. It gets colder inside. The thermostat notices that and adjusts the heater to make sure the temperature goes up again. If the temperature is back at 22, the thermostat realizes and tells the heating, cool off again, it's fine. We've reached the right temperature again. And we have that inner type of thermostat inside of ourselves. It's a self-image. It's important to understand that you can never outperform your self-image. Your self-image sets the temperature inside of you for any area of your life. And you can never be better than that specific setting. So we have that thermostat setting, this inner thermostat for our financial life, our relationships, our happiness, our body image, our purpose, our anything in our lives. Basically, we have a thermostat setting for this through our self-image. And if we want to change that, if we want to change our results in a certain area of our lives, we have to change our self-image and bring it up to the level that we want to have it at. In school, we learn to acquire knowledge. We study, we read, we repeat, we remember. But we don't know how to work on our mind. We don't learn that in school. We don't learn how to work on our beliefs, our paradigms, our programming, or on our self-image. And we don't learn how important our self-image is for our results in life. It's too bad, because that, as I said, is truly the key for most people when they're not getting to where they want to get in life. So we end up with a lot of negative and limiting beliefs that we may not even be aware of. But think about this, I'm sure Some of these sound familiar if you're honest to yourself. Take a moment and let this sink in. Have you ever told yourself things like, that's just how I am. I'm not good with money. I don't deserve this. Oh, I should be modest. I'm not a good leader. Oh, this is not for me. Or, and that's a really good one that a lot of people know, what will others think of me? Or what if I fail? So what do we do about it? Again, we have to change our thoughts in order to change our results. There's no way around it. But if we do, we can change everything we want to change. We can change anything in our world that we want to change. Change your thoughts, and through that, you will change your results. So in the end, you can change everything in your life, everything you want. And remember, none of this is your fault, but only you can change it. You're the only person that has control over that. So as Bob said, and as I said in the beginning, you're not responsible for who you are, but you are responsible and capable of changing it. In the end, it only takes two things to achieve anything you want. To become successful, reach your goal, get that new job, get a better income, find that partner, be happier, take your business to the next level. It only takes two things. You have to understand where you are, and you have to know where you want to go. If you don't have a goal, you're lost. So let's assume you have a goal. You know where you are and you know where you want to go. How do you get there? What you have to do is change your thoughts, and through that, raise your vibration. This is just a visual to show you how vibration works. All these lines represent vibration. We call them frequencies. We think in frequencies. It's like radio frequencies, like mobile phone works on frequencies, right? Everything is energy and vibrates in frequencies. If you're feeling good, you're vibrating at a high frequency. If you're feeling bad, you're vibrating in a low frequency. You can feel that. Think about, you felt it with somebody else. If they were at a low frequency, if they were not feeling well, I'm sure you've had a time in your life where you could feel that from somebody else. So your current thoughts are at a certain level. That's where your results are. That's what the R stands for. Your goal is up there. It's at a different frequency. If you want to get there, you have to raise your vibration, change your thinking, and get up to that higher frequency. If you want to shift your paradigm, your programming, you have to get to that higher frequency. And then, if you shift your paradigm, your thoughts are going to be on the same frequency as your goal, and you're automatically going to attract everything you need. You're going to have the ideas. You're going to know about the how. You're going to understand what it is you do, and the right opportunities are going to present themselves. If you manage to do that, your thoughts move up to a higher frequency and will match the results that you desire. Now, this may sound very abstract, kind of hocus pocus to some of you. And to be honest, it did for me when I first heard it. But then I started exploring it and I learned how and why it works. And now I know that it's all just working by law, by a natural law. The laws of the universe, I'm sure you've heard about that before. I'm not going to go into these today, but let me assure, they're as precise as all the other natural laws and certainties we know and never doubt. The seasons, the rhythm of day and night, the law of gravity. So it works just the same. So now coming back to this, I want to remind you of what I said in the beginning. Success is only 5% strategy and 95% mindset. What's our takeaway from this? Change, growth, and better results can only happen when you change your self-image accordingly. Change it to where you want to go. It has to match your goal. When you replace your negative beliefs and paradigms with positive ones that are serving you and not stopping you. And when you get on the frequency of your goal. So what can you actually do to achieve your goals in 2021? Remember, it doesn't matter where you are. You're nowhere compared to where you can go. Nowhere compared to where you can go. In 2021 and always. Now I have an offer for you. Only if you're ready and if you're looking for serious growth and success in 2021. This offer is not for everyone. It doesn't make sense for everyone. You know, I only work with people that are really committed and determined to go for it. People who want to grow and want to learn and who are ready to invest time, energy, and of course, yes, money into themselves and their future. I work with my clients typically for mostly for a 6-month period. I teach both in German and English, and I'll be starting an English class again to kick off 2021 next week. There's a maximum of 10 spots available for this round, and if you're ready to turn 2021 into your year, if you want to learn and understand more about this concept and how you can literally achieve any C-type goal that you set for yourself, then I suggest you book yourself a strategy call with me and my team. I invite you to do that and talk to us about what your goals are for 2021, what's holding you back, and what you can do to reach your goals in 2021 and turn it into your year. In this free call, we'll talk about all of that, and it can literally change your life, just like it has changed mine a while ago. And we'll see if I can help you with this. If I can't, I'll honestly tell you. And if I can, I'll make you an offer to work with me and come join this class. For this 2021 kickoff round, I am putting together for the Small World community a special offer. I'm offering as a special bonus 3 exclusive one-to-one sessions for everyone coming in through a Small World until the end of January. You can scan the QR code here, or you can just use the link. I think Melanie probably also put it in the chat for everybody to copy from there. Because, let me remind you, the truth is you don't have to be particularly smart to earn a lot of money. You don't have to be born rich to live your dream life. You don't have to be lucky to find the right partner. And you don't have to wait for a coincidence to feel free and happy and fulfilled. But you have to get rid of the thought that success has to do with intellect and hard work. You have to understand how your mind works and how to change your beliefs. And you have to start working on your beliefs and on your mindset. That's what makes the difference. All it takes is a decision. Then all it takes is that one committed decision to change your life, to become successful. Sometimes people will say, to be successful, you have to be on the right spot at the right time. But the truth is, we're always at the right spot, and it's always the right time, because the right time is always now for us to start and to get moving. So no matter if you want to change your job, if you want to become happier in life, if you want to get a better work-life balance, if you want to take your business to the next level, if you want to become financially free, create an environment in which you're happy, find the partner and live a successful relationship, no matter what it is, start to develop your thoughts and feelings that are on the frequency of your goal. And you will start to attract the respective ideas, people, and opportunities that will help you get to your goal. I'm sharing with you an important quote by Napoleon Hill, the author of Think and Grow Rich that I showed earlier. Successful people make decisions quickly, as soon as all the facts are available, and change them very slowly, if at all. Unsuccessful people make decisions very slowly and change them often and quickly. Let that sink in. So what you have to do is you have to get out of your comfort zone. You have to leave all old thinking and beliefs behind, and you have to become active and start moving. Knowledge is not enough. Knowledge alone hasn't gotten anyone anywhere, because otherwise we'd all be superstars and millionaires already. There's enough books and podcasts and videos out there. All the knowledge is available already for anybody. But information is not enough, because it's not easy to do it by yourself. I haven't done it by myself. I had a mentor. Even Bob hasn't done it by himself. That's why all successful people have a mentor and have somebody that pushes them. That's why all the most successful athletes have coaches. They know what to do. They know how to train, how to exercise. But having someone to push you, hold your hand, hold you accountable, that's what makes the difference in the world. And that's what gets you to your big goal. And remember, you should have a big goal so you can thrive. So all it comes down to is that decision to take the first step and kick off 2021 in the right way and decide where you want to be 6 months from now. You have to leave your comfort zone. You have to keep, you have to stop doing what you've always done. Otherwise, you will keep getting the results that you've always gotten. And you have to realize that knowing is not enough. You have to take action. And the best is to get support and get on your way. No matter if you decide to work with me or anyone else, please realize that that's what makes the big difference. So in order to get to your goal in 2021, become successful, think about what it is you really want. Think about the homework that I gave you early on. Decide to start and change your thoughts, change your paradigms, and become aware of how you think. And then you can have anything you want. And I truly mean it. Here's a quote from Steve Jobs, who said, "For the past 33 years, I have looked in the mirror every morning and asked myself, if today were the last day of my life, would I want to do what I'm about to do today? And whenever the answer has been no for too many times in a row, I knew I need to change something." I want to leave you with that and leave you with the fact that you always have a choice. If you're 100% happy with your life and your current results, then keep going, keep doing what you've always been doing. If not, then let's talk and take the first step into the right direction. You only have this one and precious life. I'll remind you again, as mentioned, you can book yourself a free strategy call with me and my team here. We'll take a look and see if I can help you with this. There's only these 10 spots available, maybe even less depending on the mix of the group, as I like to keep it small and make sure I can focus on every single one in the class. But overall, remember, you have to get moving. So I'll open it up to questions now. Feel free to type in the Q&A section. There may be a couple already in there as I see. Let me stop. Well, I'll leave this up for a moment and pull up the questions. So thank you for your time, first of all. Thanks everybody who stuck with me until now. I know we're running over a little bit. I hope that's okay for everybody, but it's always hard for me to keep this short. There's a question about what do you recommend to find your goals? Well, I think that was probably put in there before I started talking about A, B, and C goals. But as an exercise, as I said, sit down and just go with the flow and write down what you dream about, what you think about when it comes to your true wants. And don't think about any limitations. Don't think about, is it realistic or not? Don't think about Do I have the money to do it? Is now the right time? Don't think about what others may think or say about it. Don't think about all of this. Just think about what you really want. And maybe try to think about what you have always dreamt about, what you dreamt about when you were little. Sometimes that's when your real goals show up. And think about a personal want as well as a professional want. Think about your business and your personal life. It always goes hand in hand. And it's always, one is always in line with the other. We can't completely separate this. But that will help you find your goals in life. And write it down. That's also a big part of it. Put it in writing. Do this exercise maybe more than once. And eventually you'll be able to pick that one goal and that one C-type goal. There's another question about how can we clean our paradigms, changing them to new ones. Is there an unlearning process to follow? Thanks for all the information and the vibes. Thank you very much. So the process to change paradigms is actually quite simple, but it's not easy to do, as I said. It's not something where you just switch a button or turn a switch or push a button. It's not something that happens overnight. It takes some time. That's also why I work with my clients over a 6-month period, because you need to give it some time, but that also guarantees permanent results, lasting results. Anything that you try to change overnight like that, any kind of, I'm sure you've heard about these chakra seminars, like a weekend of quick energy thing, that can give you a push, but that's motivation. That's not a lasting and permanent result that you get with this. So it's a step-by-step process. It typically also involves work. It involves work on yourself. It involves investing time and energy into yourself, but it's worth it, because then you can permanently change your paradigms, change the way you think, change your programming to anything you want to change it to. And it's not an unlearning process, because you don't want to get rid of the old one. You actually do want to replace it with a new one that you create for yourself. You don't change an existing system by working on it. You change it by making the old system obsolete and replacing it with a new one. That's based on a quote by Buckminster Fuller, by the way. There's another question, how to achieve those dream goals, how to start moving, and what specific direction. For example, nowadays I'm jobs, I need a job, 1,000 tours. Okay. Okay, so it's a long question. Okay. Became in a vicious cycle. How can I simply change it? To change yourself. Okay, it's a pretty complex question about if you're without a job, though. However, it's actually the same. If it sounds like you're also stuck in your paradigm that keeps you where you are. I know to some people that may sound like, oh, that's too simple. That's not how it is. It's really about the environment. It's really about the outer situation. It's not. It's about yourself. And as long as you think it's the situation that you're in that keeps you where you are, that's what it's gonna be. So even in that case, I'm sorry, that's my dog now showing up telling me it's time to stop. That's real life, right? Anyway, she'll have to wait. So whatever it is, the situation is that you're in right now, you can change it by changing your thinking. And by working on your thinking, you will then, by raising your vibration to that upper frequency, you will, and I guarantee you that, you will attract the right people, the right situation, the right opportunities, the right kind of job that you need, that you're looking for. But the work starts before that. The work actually starts with you and not with the circumstances and not with the outside part. So any more questions? Let me check in the chat if there's anything else. Oh, Google form is in German. I'm sorry about that. Oh yes, it directs you to the German Google form. That's fine. Celine, thanks for booking a call. We will send you the form in English. So rest assured that you'll get the questions and we'll be able to prep for the call. Thank you very much for everything that you put in the chat. Glad you were able to benefit from. Oh my cookie. Oh, I'm sorry. It's really an indication that I ran over now. But that's fine. I think we spend enough time on this now. With a barking dog in the background, I want to thank you for spending the evening with me. I want to thank you for your precious time. Thank you for everything that you put in the chat. Have a great 2021. Yes, as Maria put in there, yes, have a great 2021. Make sure you make it your year and make sure you take care of yourself, take care of your thoughts, and take care of your goals. And then you will get to where you want to get in life. 2021 is your year. Thank you very much and have a great evening. Have a great rest of the week. I look forward to speaking to you very soon. Bye-bye.